Hi friends, my name is Kelly and this is Maxwell. Come here, Maxwell. You can say hi. It's okay. It's okay. So we'll get started in a couple of minutes. Get a couple of blocks if you have them, a cushion or bolster, and I need you to bring your mat up to a wall, okay? So we're going to use the wall today, a plain wall, so you can actually put your legs up. So grab a bolster, blocks, and a strap. All right, so here's your strap. And then I want you to place them on the side of your mat for easy access. And let's see, a blanket, get a blanket. I'll be right back. Let me see if we're on. There we are. All right. Let me make sure sound is on. Hi Glenda, hi Wendy, hi Diane and Suzanne. Be right back. Okay, come on. Hi. All right. So we'll take our time as we move into different positions for our restorative practice. So my name is Kelly. If there's someone new tuning in to my group, I appreciate you being here and appreciate you practicing with me. This is one of my favorite classes of all my classes to teach. So my name is Kelly. I should introduce myself. And this is Maxwell. Maxwell's my manager. He watches and makes sure I do everything right. Right, Maxwell? So we'll get started. Get blocks if you have them, a blanket. That was me, Maxwell. Look, that was me. A blanket and a bolster. The first place we're going to go is legs up the wall. So this class that we'll do today is about becoming present, but also to restore for creativity. So silence and listening, getting you to come to a place of creativity, and we'll move into poses that may bring that about or help. That's the point of the class. So the first thing we're going to do is put legs up the wall. It's an inversion. So, it can instill or bring in some fear immediately because your legs are up against the wall and maybe it's kind of fearful even moving into that position. But I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? So first, we'll go ahead and get started. So place your blanket. Do you need to go out? All right, let me let Maxwell out. He decided he wanted to leave. He's not staying for restorative today. There you go. Okay, so blanket on the mat, that's where your head's gonna go. So kind of decide how far to move the blanket. And to come up the wall with your legs, so you need to move it in so you can reach. To come up the leg, come up the wall with your legs. You'll bring your hip up against the baseboard and make sure your elbows come to your mat like that, so your cushion. And then you'll sweep your legs up. And then you need to bring your sitting bones all the way up to the baseboard. And then bring your shoulders towards each other and separating your shoulder blades, and then set your shoulder blades down. Then reach for the blanket and pull the blanket in underneath your head. But then make a little roll for your neck, so you've got some support there. So we're gonna start right here with a bit of meditation to begin class. The legs up the wall, restoring the lower back, so the physical body restoring. And in the mind, becoming present in the moment. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Bring your awareness to your hips. Let the lower back settle in with the legs up. So straighten your legs all the way up, and you can kind of press the calves into the wall just to feel a little bit of tension or a little stretch, but then let that go. Let your feet have their normal angle of the normal angle at your ankle joint, the carrying angle. So all of our joints have a certain natural angle based on just our body and the closing your eyes if you haven't already. Your next 5 breaths of air, I want you to control, consciously dictating the inflow of air, taking a deep breath of air, and then exhaling that out all the way. Deeply inhaling, and then fully exhaling. Inhale through your nose, and this time hold your breath at the top, and then take another sip of air in, and then another light sip of air, and then exhale. And then one more time, consciously breathing in to the body. Same thing, hold at the top of your breath, and then breathe in another sip of air, and then another sip of air, and then exhale that out, let it go. Settling your mind, letting your body settle. Gravity hugging you into the ground, pulling you in, balancing you. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Bring your teeth away from each other, or make space, and let the tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Relaxing your shoulders. You'll hold tension in places where you don't even know you're holding tension. So bringing your awareness to those places and intentionally relaxing. Relaxing down the chest,
down the arms, both arms, and maybe you have your arms to your side, out a little wide so there's an angle, and go ahead and turn your palms up. Relaxing your lower back, and then your thighs and the knees above the thighs, your ankles, the soles of your feet, your toes. Being present with your breath, feeling your placement on your mat, the weight of your body, your head, shoulders, back. Being present with awareness. Awareness of your placement physically and mentally. And as you hold the pose, this position, you might find things start to settle even more the longer we stay in this position. The weight of the legs over your hips, allowing your hips, both sides, the right and the left side, to adjust and balance. Again, awareness to your shoulders, relax, your jaw, relax. Then bring your awareness to your mind's eye, space between your brow. That place of creativity, intuition, your sixth sense. So keeping your arms where they are and your body. Just begin to bend the knees and bring your feet together. Let your knees go out. So your legs are still above your hips, but now just bending the knees and having the feet touching each other. And let your feet slide to the point where you can kind of hold the position. A little bit of strength is required to hold your feet up against the wall with your feet together. So it's somewhat active. Breathing steady breaths of air. Recognize whether or not your breath is shallow. Make adjustments, lengthening your breath. So allow your mind, the thoughts that come and the thoughts that go. But the key during the class, during restorative yoga, during meditation in general, is to not attach to thoughts, to not feel like you've got to do something with them. Resolve to be in a place where they just are. Recognizing them, but then letting them go. No need to plan for the future. at this moment in time or to reflect on the past. Just being present. And now with your hands, place them on your legs and bring your legs in towards each other, squeezing the legs in. And we're just going to roll over to the right. So reach your right arm up and then roll over to your side. And just stay there for a moment. Let your body settle on its side. The hips, your legs, comfortably towards your chest. In the fetal position. Feeling the comfort of your body, of being in your skin. So now place your right hand or your left hand on the floor and begin to lift your body up and then slide onto your mat. Just leave your mat where it is, and we're going to come into supported child's pose. So here's how you'll situate your props and your body. If you have knee problems, you can also change this quite a bit by placing a blanket behind your knees like this. So then the degree of bend at the knees is lessened, and so it's much more comfortable. You can try that. You can double this up, and maybe you sit up higher on your heels like that, right? I find that pulling it into right behind the knees and then sitting back with it being a thinner fold, because you don't want to cut off circulation, is nice. And then you'll separate your knees, right? Now, if you have no knee problems, if there's nothing to worry about there, then use your blanket on top of your bolster. So bolster on the mat long, and then you're going to use your blanket, make it a little bit higher. Bring your knees on either side of the bolster or cushion or pillow, whatever you have. And then place your hands beside on the floor, on the mat beside the bolster. Very detailed. Walk your hands forward. Take a breath in. And then lift up your ribs and then set your ribs down on top of the bolster and blanket. And then lower your head, turning your head one direction. And once you're there, once you've kind of landed, figure out moving around your forearms and then your feet behind you. So this restoring the lower back, your knees, your ankles, your feet, your shoulders relaxing, the neck. Focus in on your breath. Inhaling a deep breath of air. Open your mouths and just exhale. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Continue with that directed breathing, that length of breath, the inhale and the exhale. 2 more breaths, and then we're going to turn our head the other direction. So deeply inhaling, fully exhaling, deeply breathing in, And then let that go. Start to lift your head and just gaze down for a moment. And turn your head the opposite direction. And set your head down on the bolster. And keep your forearms where they are. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Melt into the cushion supporting your body. Let your lower back and hips settle. And again, if you need to move around and adjust something, there's time. So take the time to adjust. Don't feel like you're going to miss out on the next thing. Be present in the moment, but have enough awareness if you need to move or change something, change it. Take a deep breath of air in. Fill the lungs. And then exhale that out. Deeply breathing in. Fully exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Remaining with that depth of breath. As we move off of the bolster or move out of this position, take a deep inhale through your nose and lifting up. Press into your hands, lift your body. And then sit on your heels. We're going to leave your bolster where it is. Fix this. So lift up your hips, step your right foot on one side of the bolster, and then your left foot on the other side. And if you need to, if you have blocks, you can even put the blocks right here and put your hands down. Otherwise, just place your hands on the cushion. Let your fingers come over the side so your wrists don't take the brunt of the fingers or the too much of an angle at the wrist joint. Turn your toes out and let your head just drop. Uttanasana, forward fold. Letting your head hang long, your neck, your shoulders relaxed. And you can slightly bend the knees. Take a deep breath in and place your left hand right in the middle. And you're going to turn your right arm up to the right and press into your hand. Just give a light twist for 2 breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. And now place your hand as you inhale. And now you're going to turn the opposite direction. Press into the cushion. Reach the opposite arm up. Just 2 breaths right here. Lengthen your tailbone back. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now bring your hand down. Lengthen the head forward. Half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Then press into your feet, bend your knees slightly, reach your arms up and stand tall. Mountain pose. Reaching the hands up, put your palms together, and let's do a side lean over to the right, feel the right, or over to the left, feel the right side body. Inhale and reach your arms up and stretch. Exhale the opposite direction, feel the other side opening up, lengthen the arms, bring the arms beside the ears. Good, inhale and reach up. Then exhale, bring your hands down to your sides, pick your shoulders up and roll them back. Pick your shoulders up and roll them back. Do that again. One more time. And then we'll come to our mat. So we'll face the opposite direction of the wall. Move the same position we were in with child's pose. Keep your bolster the way it is. So we're going to do a similar pose to the child's pose using the bolster. Same direction, but we're going to add a little twist to it. So to stimulate the central nervous system, the spine, bring the bolster up to your hip, and you'll bring, so if your legs are out straight and the bolster's at your hip, start over. Legs straight, bolster at your hips, then slide your heels or your feet in. One leg is over in front of the other leg. That's how I find it most comfortable. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your body, and you're trying to get your torso, your chest squared to the bolster. You can move this away. This also can be placed underneath or between your knees like this, right? And then once your hands are here, walk your hands along. Once you place your hands there, walk your hands along the bolster, draw your elbows in, squaring your shoulders, then set your forearms down. So forearms down, squares your shoulders. You'll feel a little tension there for a moment, but then when you settle down your body and turn your head the direction of your knees, you'll find the body settles. So there's a slight spiraling happening with the hips one direction and then the chest turned facing down. So the hips facing to the side and the chest facing the floor. There's a slight spiraling happening right there towards the middle of the back, and then turning your head and the cervical spine also. And close your eyes. Three breaths of air, filling the lungs. And then fully exhaling. Breathe in. And breathe out. Relax the neck. Breathe in. Breathe out. So stay here, or you can pick your head up and get a little more of a twist by turning your head the opposite direction of your knees. So then the spiraling happening up near the cervical spine in a healthy, comfortable way. Don't force anything. If that feels uncomfortable and creates stress or anxiety, then turn your head the opposite back towards the knees. This is supposed to restore, not to create stress. Our days are full of plenty of things to stress our bodies, whether it's physical exercise that's intentional or any other things. So it's a restoration process or restorative yoga. It's a good way to Tune in, creating balance in your body, but then also in your mind. So now press into your hands and lift up your chest off of the bolster. And then move the blanket, if you have that, between your legs. And now we're going to face or turn our legs this way. Put your feet on the other side of the bolster. Make sure your feet are touching. Don't do this. Don't have your feet just dangling in space. Have your knees over the bolster enough that your feet have a place to sit, have a foundation. Blanket and or block. You're going to reach forward and just hang over the legs and put your forehead down. So whatever prop you have for your forehead to place on, you'll just notice with this rounding of your spine and arms laying over the legs, it's a super soothing stretch for your back, your entire back, from the tailbone all the way up to your neck, to the base of the skull. I have my fingers resting on my feet, my elbows on the inside of my legs. Breathing may be a little more shallow here. That's okay. Just let your breathing happen. No controlling. A little control of the mind. Just being present. Awareness of your breath, but no control. Feel the edges of your feet touching the mat. Then the knees going out to the side. That angle. Focus on the angle at the hip, where your body is folding forward. And then the arch of the spine, or the rounding of the spine and the shoulders. Begin to take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale that out and lift your head. And you can move the block and the blanket to the opposite side. And then sweep your legs over carefully. And then starting here, legs straight out, perpendicular to the mat. Bolster to your hip, to your side. So all the way in, snug that into your hip. Then you can kind of lean onto your left hip, slide your feet out, and then the leg that's on top, have that leg forward of the leg that's underneath. And then maybe you want to put the blanket between your knees, because that helps, your hips settle a little bit better. But then sit up. So I'm on my left hip. Place your left hand, if you're on the same side that I'm on, and then turn. So look down at the bolster, take a breath in, and then you'll walk your hands along the sides
And then settle your forearms down. And then you have to adjust your hips right there. And turn your head and settle your forehead, the temple on the floor. And breathe. So forearms on either side of the bolster, palms relaxed, hips relaxed. Breathe in deeply here. Exhale that out. Another deep breath of air. And then exhale that out. Inhaling. Exhaling. A couple of breaths just like that, filling the lungs. Notice what's happening when you breathe in really deeply at the top of the breath. Is it smooth or is there a little quivering of the breath? Try to smooth that out intentionally. It's just exercising the lungs, using more of the capacity than you would otherwise. Press your forearms into the mat and lift your head. And move the bolster this direction. So we'll again fold over, bring your legs over the bolster. Make sure that this works for you. So if it's too high for your lower back, which I don't think that could happen, but just, if you want to use the prop of this thing underneath your knees, so long like this and rolling it up, you could do that. But then I do want you to have something so that whenever you fold over, you're able to rest. So this is like perfect height for me, for my body rounding over. And if you want to this time, bring your feet to touch each other and then the edge of the feet on the floor. I'm going to place a block. So the block, of course, there's 3 heights if you have blocks available. So place the block so you can put your forehead down. And then once you put your forehead down, reach your arms along the legs. So your elbows are on top of the knees. And your forearms along the shins. Take your time getting into the restorative pose. It's worth the time spent. Make sure your neck is comfortable and long. So your chin is not tucked. It's actually, there's space between your chin and your chest. So the back of the neck is straight. Restoring the neck. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is a little shorter here with this folding over, rounding of the spine. But just have awareness. Move around however you need to be comfortable. And then find stillness. Being present. So meditation is active, being aware.
Not falling asleep, but letting the mind go. So bring your awareness to your mind's eye, the third eye, the space between the brow. And as you breathe into that space. And then exhale that out. Bring your awareness to your lower back. And breathe in a deep breath of air into that space. And exhale that out. Then bring your awareness to your shoulders, the blades. Inhale through the nose. Breathe into that spot, that place. And then let that go. Then your legs, inhaling. And then exhaling. And the arms, inhale. And exhale. Taking a deep breath in, lift up your head, rise off of the prop, and set your stuff on the sides. Place the blanket where your head goes. When you lie down, you'll have your head on the blanket, but your shoulders right at the edge, so off of the blanket. And then we'll use the bolster again for Shavasana. We'll have a good long Shavasana, a guided Shavasana, which means that I'll just talk you through the time. So grab your belt or strap. And you might want to have space on your sides, but if you want to prop your legs up as you bring the legs to the side, we're going to reach the legs over and then across the body. Maybe you want to have the blocks on either side so that when your leg goes over, you can have a prop. So coming to a place of comfort, but not coming to a place of intensity. That's the key. So lowering down. I just have a quote that I was going to read to you because the theme of this class, lie back first of all. Lie back on your mat and have your head on the blanket. Move your hips around so you're comfortable there, right? And then bring your right knee in and hug that leg in and set your right foot down and then your left leg. So before you will use the strap, let's do supine pigeon pose. So place your right ankle on your left knee and lift your feet. You can rotate a couple of times at the ankle joint. So the quote is from Elizabeth Gilbert from her book, Big Magic. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? Reach your hands through, threading around the hamstring, and pull your leg in. And flex your foot. Flex the other foot. And if you want to, use your elbow to push your knee away. Pull the leg in, but keep your lower back on the floor. Close your eyes for your next 3 breaths of air. Set your left foot on the floor, and then open your eyes and grab your belt. Place the belt around the ball of your foot. It's actually right at just below the ball of the foot, so not at the toes. Don't do that. So here, and then have your foot squared to the ceiling, the bottom of your foot, and then reach the leg up straight with your left foot on the floor. And then reach up as high as you can with your arms straight, and then slightly bend your right knee and let the weight of your arms pull your leg towards you. Stretching your hamstring. So there's variables, right, with stretching, time, creating intensity, and then also the resistance, the active part of the stretch. What is creating the stretch? So time is the most important part of creating elasticity in the muscle. Not how intense you are. So like if I straighten my leg completely and I brought my leg in towards my body, that intensity is not as important as just holding for a longer period of time. I guess we live in a world of wanting to have things happen immediately, and so adding intensity sometimes feels like it's the right thing to do, but actually it's time and having patience. Extend the left leg out straight if you can, if that's okay. So what's happening here is your hip flexors are stretching out at the top of your hip as you extend the leg out straight. And you can use your left hand and press that leg down, and then keep your lower back on the floor. So you're just looking up, and then close your eyes. Your chin is neutral, the back of the head comfortable. Grab the straps with your right hand and extend your left arm over to the left. Let your right leg drop over to the right. And then once your leg finds that spot where it's comfortable, not too far, and keep your shoulders on the floor and keep the left hip on the floor, then turn your gaze to the left and just look across the floor, and then softly close your eyes for 3 breaths. Long, deep breaths. As you take your next breath of air, lift your leg straight up. Let your hips settle down evenly and lower back. Reach with your left hand, and we're going to go the opposite direction. Reach the right arm over to the right already, so that when you let the leg come over, you're balanced. And keep your shoulder on the floor. If you want to, you can bend your knee if that is helpful. Otherwise, keep your legs straight. Shoulders on the floor, and if your foot can reach the floor with your legs straight out, maybe that's possible. And then turn your gaze to the right. Relax the left leg. So here, stretching the QL muscle, the quadratus lumborum, strong muscle in the lower back, connecting the hip, the spine to the hip. The top of the hip bone, shoulders, feeling the right shoulder, that right pectoral muscle stretching nicely. Think about the turning or the spiral effect happening in the spine, where it's opening up and it's closing. So stimulating the tissue and the vertebrae. Two more breaths. Begin to lift your leg up. And we're just going to go to the other side. So place a strap on your belly and place your left ankle on your right knee. Get your lower back settled onto the floor evenly. Go ahead and flex your feet. Maybe you want to rotate the right foot around a couple of times. Back of the head comfortable. Your neck should be comfortable. Reach your hands through and grab around the hamstring. Pull your leg in towards you. And just let your feet go. If you want to, you can press with the elbow, pushing the knee away. Close your eyes. 3 breaths. And then begin to let your hamstring go, let the leg go, and place this belt around the ball of your left foot. And again, it's just below the ball of the foot, right there, not at the toes. And place your right foot on the floor. Stay here for a moment, you guys, and just assess the situation with your body. How's that feeling? Reach your arms up as straight as you can. And then let the elbows bend slightly and the leg bend slightly as the weight of the arms pulls your leg in towards you. So you don't have to straighten the leg completely. It's stretching, the hamstring is stretching because of the weight of the arms. And you don't have to wind the strap around your hands, just have your hands clasped. They'll stay. Then if you want to slide the right leg out straight, hip flexor stretching now on the right side, and just take your right hand and press that right hip down. Slide the hand right there on the front of the hip. Press into the thigh, leveling your leg to the floor. And then let your leg go, but keep the hip down, the lower back down, and reach up again and grab the strap. Let's take the leg to the left side. So grab the strap with the left hand. Reach your right arm over to the right and lower the left leg over to the left. So extend that leg straight if you can. If you need to bend the knee slightly, that's okay, but try to get it straight and extend that right leg down to the mat. Look over to the right. And you can keep your shoulders on the floor. That's important. And your leg just hovering. And maybe you can pull the leg up and in some to the side. Hamstring stretch, inner thigh stretch. Keep the right leg down. Holding for long enough to let this muscle open up and get the value of the stretch, creating elasticity in the muscle, and then mobility in the joints. Because that's the key, right? Mobility, keeping mobility. Keeping your range of motion at the different joints. Lift your leg. Change your grip to the other side. And we'll go to the other side, and then the last part of class, we'll take Shavasana. So leg goes over. So about 5 minutes for Shavasana. Settle your shoulders on the floor, and as you exhale, maybe you can lower your leg all the way so your foot touches the floor. Maybe. So no intensity here, nothing that creates stress or anxiety. Relax. Once you found the length or the space that you can settle into, close your eyes and to gently turn your head 3 breaths. Now open your eyes, lift your leg, bend your knee, remove the strap, place the strap on the floor, and now let's set up for Shavasana. So roll over and come up, and with your props, I'm going to show you a way to open your hips and your shoulders. Okay, so bolster here. Forget about that for a moment. And then blanket. So with your blanket, about this length, right, you're going to tightly roll it up as if it were a sleeping bag. So you don't want it to be flimsy, you want it to be a little tight. So that's about how big my roll is. If it's larger, it's okay. And then you'll put that along the mat with the fringe up toward the head direction. And then the fold part here. And then you're going to bring your tailbone or the lower back right up to the bolster, almost touching but not touching because you want your hips to stay on the floor. Then you're going to lower down on the bolster so your spine is settling right on the bolster. First, reach your arms up, spread your blades apart, and then you'll let your blades come around the sides of the bolster. So you're opening up that tissue, that space between. Then if you've got enough space, you can actually make this kind of doubled underneath your neck so your head is relaxed, but not too high. I don't want your chin to be close to your chest. Bring your arms out to your sides, and then your feet can be on the other side of the bolster, or you can slide the bolster just slightly and put your feet together with your knees out. But your feet are on something so that you're propped up. Don't hang out in space. You need to have the foundation, the security, the feeling of being grounded. So then settle there, and if you need to move something around, move something around. We're here for 5 minutes. Breathing in and breathing out. So we'll go over time just a few minutes. But just to reflect on, give your mind something to think about for a moment as you settle in. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? I can't teach creativity, but you can learn how to let go into your own creative energy. Creativity is about listening. From the top of your head, the crown of the head, to your toes. observing. The space between the brow, the mind's eye. Take a deep breath in, breathing into that space. And then exhale, letting that go. Take another deep breath in, relaxing your jaw. Fully exhale. Your shoulders breathing in. Fully exhaling out. The right arm, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, 5 fingers. Inhaling, left arm, the upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, palm, 5 fingers. Softening down the sides, the torso, the belly, to your hip points. To your right leg, right foot, 5 toes. To your left leg, left foot, and 5 toes. From the top of your head, the crown of the head, to the toes, take a deep breath in, fill the lungs. And then exhale and bring your legs together, bring them into your chest, and then roll over to the side. Move the prop out from under your back if you had something there. I want you to lie flat with no support for a moment. Move the bolster away, kick the bolster out of the way, and just reach your arms overhead and stretch and reach your legs. Take a deep breath in. And then fully exhale that out. Now you're going to roll over to your side. So extending one arm, roll over that direction. So your head rests on the arm and bend your knees, coming into that fetal position again. Bring your legs in closer to your chest. Feel the comfort of your body. Relax your hands and your shoulders, your hips and your knees. Take a deep breath in and gratitude. And press into the floor and lift your shoulders, your head, your body up, and sit up tall. Sit up well with your legs crossed, and close your eyes. Bring your hands to the top of your legs. Bring the hands together, the palms together. Feel the touch of your palms. Then bring the edge of the hands, the thumbs, to the mind's eye. And thanks. Then bring the edge of the thumbs to the heart. Relaxing your shoulders, elbows pointing down. Take a deep, full breath of air. And then let that go. Exhale. Bowing our chins in thanks and in gratitude for our practice together. I bow my practice to you, to your practice. Thank you for participating and for taking the time for yourselves. Namaste.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for being present and being here and participating. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave your comments. I appreciate any comments, any questions that you have, and if I can help you in any way. I'll see you again. I'll be here next week. Same schedule. See you later. Bye.